Hey everybody, welcome back to the Board Games Maelstrom. Today we're going to be doing an entirely new segment for the channel. I'm just starting it out. It's called No Meeples Required. And what this segment is about Amerithrash type gaming and Amerithrash type games. Games with miniatures. Games that you don't need meeples to play. Games that the meeples may be taken over by small minis that you can paint, you can put together. I do a little painting. We'll see that in the first game tonight. And our first game that we're going to take a look at in this series is brand new on the market, just came out this past month. So the first game is Massive Darkness. Massive Darkness is the epitome of Amerithrash. And so we're going to take a look at this game tonight and see how to play it, take a look at some of the miniatures that I've painted. I plan to do some miniature painting segments later on. So let's go down to the table and take a look. Okay, here we are down at the table. I'll try and pan out a little so you can see everything that I've got set out here in all its glory. Massive Darkness. I did back the Kickstarter, so I have some stuff that maybe not everybody had, like some plastic tokens and some extra dice. Now the first thing I want to take a look at are these beautiful player boards. You can put your equipment in here, like we have starting equipment, and everybody I believe starts with a leather armor, and then you can dish out the other pieces of equipment as you guys see fit. Everybody gets two. Let's just say Owen here gets a long sword. Now on here you'll track XP. There is a micro XP bar over here. The micro XP is for the campaign, and the regular XP is just for the regular game. Now, over here I have the board set up. I've got some of the minis, and we're gonna come in and take a look at some of those. I don't know that we'll be able to see them very well in the light that I have here, but this is Whisper and the Wizard, and we have Owen over here. I painted all these myself. I've been learning to paint over the last few years since I've gotten into board gaming. There's I believe his name is Bjorn, and then we have our Elfin Ranger. And of course, the dwarf. And doesn't he look ready for battle? I got a couple of upgrades with the game, as the treasure chests and the pillars that you can see over here. The treasure chests come in two different types. There's the regular treasure, and then there's like this, or wait, no, this is the regular treasure. And then there's like this extra special treasure. Basically, it's your basic dungeon crawl. When you're in the dungeon is set at certain levels, which you can set by these tokens. Like, say this would be maybe level 2 over here, and then we might have a level 1 token, if I can find it, over here. Now the active level would be level 1 until you reach the level 2 tiles. Over here we see some of the baddies. These are the roaming monsters. Lesser Troll, I believe. The Hellhound. And we have this girl who has a lot of swords and a lot of arms to swing them, that's for sure. And then we got my favorite over here. Kind of reminds me of the spider from Lord of the Rings and how he had Frodo wrapped up before him, but I kind of went all out on this one. And I haven't even, in a game, I haven't even gotten a chance to fight this thing yet. If you're familiar with Zombicide, you'll be familiar with a lot of the different mechanisms of this game. It's kind of like a Zombicide dungeon crawl. The monsters move according to rules. When you're in the level 1 side and you hit a door, and what you do is you would draw a door, and then you would populate the rooms. In this one, it's you would spawn a guard card in the first room and put 2 treasures. And in the second one, there'd be no enemy, but there would be a larger treasure. And then in the third room, there would be no enemy and 2 smaller treasures. We can see this with the shine and stuff. Alright. And the treasures, of course, be represented by these plastic things, which I haven't gotten a chance to paint yet. There is a ton of dice in Massive Darkness. If you like rolling dice, you will love this game. Health markers. Anyway, if you were in level 1 and you pulled this door card, which is very shiny, it's hard to get a good angle. If you pulled this door card, it says spawn a guard card. So what you'd go is you'd go over here to the level 1 guards and you would pull one. Now this, zombie walkers. Why? Because I got the crossover from Zombicide, so you can use your zombie walkers as monsters within this game, which is a pretty cool thing. Also, you can use a lot of the heroes from this from Zombicide in this game as well. Every round you're going to be doing things like populating rooms. At the end you're going to be pulling event cards, which do fun things like oh, there's Heroes in the Shadow Zones may heal one. That's a good card. This one saying if there's already roaming monsters in play, activate one. If not, spawn a roaming monster card. You have monsters that level from level 1 to level 5. And then you have your lesser roaming monsters and your greater roaming monsters. The lesser roaming monsters are things like the High Troll, which I believe is our little dude right here, the High Troll. Greater roaming monsters, you might see the Ogre Mage, which I have not painted yet, and I don't have. I have several of the minis out here, but they have not been painted. I've been working on the dwarves upstairs, but I've got a long way to go before they are done. But this is a very fun game, and if you like dungeon crawls, if you like Amerithrashy type games, this is definitely your game. There are definitely no meeples required for this one. I've been happy to bring this to you, this new segment from the Board Games Maelstrom, and I'd like to invite you further. I'd like to do one of these at least every couple weeks, possibly every week, depending on what kind of time I have. But there's all kinds of things. You get different treasures. Level 1 treasure, Charm of Protection. Level 2 treasure, the King's Crown. Level 3 treasures, you get up that high, it's a Battle Axe, which you get more dice. Each one you get, like this one, you get to roll a red and a yellow die. When you get to the end of a mission, you may get to pull a artifact card, which are usually even better things. Like this is some gauntlets for a ranger. It cancels all defense enchantments, so that's pretty handy. That's a pretty handy piece of armor to have. You're going to be rolling a lot of dice in this. You're going to be rolling lots of dice. You're going to be moving around minis. You're going to be fighting creatures. You're going to be doing all sorts of stuff that we all love to do in Amerithrash games. This has been a look at Massive Darkness by the Board Games Maelstrom. And I'm Scott, and I'm glad you were here to go over this game with me, and I'd like to say thanks for stopping by.